This section is the Physical and Material Property menu. I will explain about useful tools for creating and modifying material and physical properties. The content is as you can see on the screen. Create Material command makes material that fits the current template format. The image shown is the example of the general template is applied.
Supported templates are Nastran, FEGate, LSDY and A3D PAM Crash.
The Make Standard Material function automatically generates 6 materials used in the shipbuilding industry. You can enter yield stress in the Material Property input window.
This value is not supported on the Nastran shell property card, but is stored in a PDF file in a separate comment form.
You can apply this value to the criterion analysis of the probe function. The derived result function also uses this value to generate a new index result. Modify Material command allows you to modify the label, the name, and the physical value of the material property. Another method of modifying material is to double-click a material or select Modify Item from the Material's right-click menu. You can batch change the material name. It provides 3 methods for changing the name for the selected material. That is the replace, add prefix, add suffix. Create Physical command is a function to create the physical property of all types. You can create an empty property or copy from an existing property list or property database. Another method of creating the physical property is to select New Property item from the right-click button in the Property Tree menu. Since all kinds of creating elements menus includes tools creating physical properties, you do not have to create physical properties before creating elements. In case of having the basic shape of sections such as circles, rectangles, and channels, the window is displayed as shown on the screen. The size of the section can be entered to calculate the properties internally. This tool supports all basic shape of section and their method of designating measurements that are used in Nastran. If the input files are stored as other solvers than Nastran, properties are written by using internally calculated section properties.
SRFD supports automatic entry of names from dimensions entered and automatic addition of material names for user convenience.
Modify Physical command allows you to modify the label, the name, and the physical value of the physical property. Another method of modifying physical property is to double-click a physical property or select Modify Item from the Physical Property right-click menu. You can batch change the physical property name. It provides to batch change the name using the define format.
You can use to collectively change the name to the same format using Beam, library to name, 1D, formatted shell name, 2D.
Property Database command is a function to store the properties information in the program. You can create a database from the physical material property present in the model and automatically save it as a file in your environment. By default, the bulb type stiffener is replaced with an angle stiffener by the Lloyd's rule and stored. Formula the command allows you to create and manage formulas for boundary condition or tabular function generation. It supports a function to extract the value of node, coordinates, physical property, and material.
The type of the function can be entered in the form of function type ID.
You can create formulas with functions such as log max, sine, and cosine as well as conditional statements. You can use the values of nodes or coordinate systems in formulas.
For example, the x-coordinate value of node 100 can be expressed as follows. Function type ID, node x 100.
Material values or physical values can also be used for formulas. For example, thickness value of shell property 100 can be expressed as follows.
Function type ID, PHYT 100.
There are 4 types of formula as below.
Spatial scalar defines a scalar function using the screen coordinate x, y, z as a variable. The spatial vector defines a vector function using screen coordinate x, y, and z as variables. Tabular function defines a table function using the x-axis of a graph as a variable.
General defines the formula used in the derived result command.
It is automatically stored in the SRFT environment and can be exported and imported as a separate file. With the Set Global option, formula data is stored within the SRFT environment. When you run new SRFT programs, you can use the global formula. With the Set Local option, formula data is stored in PDF file. When you run another PDF file, the local formula is excluded from the list.
Local formula is prefixed with square brackets before and after the name. The spatial scalar type can be used as an internal formula in the form of formula name. Special characters and spaces in the name can be used because square brackets are used to display the formulas in groups. If a formula is renamed, the names and other related expressions are changed at once. The internal formula can be applied up to a depth of 100 steps. However, it cannot be used in an infinite loop.
Internal formulas basically inherit the x, y, and z variables of their parent formulas. However, you can substitute x, y, z variables with constants in the format formula name 1, 2, 3.
It is impossible to put variables in formula name 1, 2, 3 form. A multi-byte character like Korean Greek can be used in variable constant. The user-specified constant can also be used as a variable in a formula. As a shown example, variables are defined in the form name equals value before the formula definition and are separated by commas.
The 9 temporary variables C1 to C9 in the formula are predefined.
The initial values are the 0 and can be used after definition within the formula. If you need to enter pressure in a tank with a different height, a separate formula is required for each tank, but you can use that function to enter internal pressure in all tanks with one formula.
This means that the dim_zu function allows you to express the maximum z coordinate value of elements present on the screen in a single formula.
Value edit command is a function that easily changes certain values of physical and material properties in the text box at the same time. I recommend using this feature if you want to easily change all the physical data at once. It supports 4 methods as shown below. The edit value and rename method can change the value of a selected property item while also changing the property name. The set values method supports 3 methods: set value, add value, and multiply values.
The by value list file method outputs all data from a particular property type in text or CSV format.
You can edit the output file yourself and reflect the changed values directly into the model. Finally, the map to discrete value method approximates the property value of the selected property to the nearest value defined in the discrete value table selected in the combo box. The edit value and rename method allows you to directly edit the value of the selected property item and the property name. Because you modify the values immediately, you must click Update to apply them to the model. Two additional useful functions make editing easy. The rename using value function can collectively change the property name using the property value. Conversely, the extract value from name function can change the property value by extracting value information written in the property name in a property or in a certain format.
The by-valueless file method outputs all data from a particular property type in text or CSV format.
You can edit the output file yourself and reflect the changed values directly into the model.
If the output is in CSV format, the Excel is driven and opened at the same time as the output. You can edit the output CSV file immediately and apply the edited results directly to the model.
The divide part command separates the properties and material of the selected element from the existing physical properties to create a new property and material. The name is defined by the existing property, material name followed by underbar 1. I think that this is usually used to tune the mass. It can be merged again with merge version function. When one property is divided into several in a state attached with version number due to tasks such as divide or import operation, a function to bind in one property automatically. You can use not only property, but also material, geometry set, and group. The property color plot command is a function that displays colors and names in legend form at the top right of the screen by material and property. If you leave the command, the color will be restored, but if you enable the Keep Plot Color option, the color will remain even if you leave the command. The Material Plots Rescale for Displayed option outputs color adjustment based on the element shown on the current screen.
You can check the property color plot for the element in real time using the 1D, 2D, 3D button in the Physical Plot option.
The Part Summary command is a feature that creates a summary report for the selected part. You can save it in the form of text, words, and PowerPoint. When the Structural Part Only option is enabled, only the beam, shell, and solid parts are listed. Parts associated with a massless one-dimensional element are deleted from the list.